The next concept will be called the scalar multiple. And this scalar multiple can help us to determine whether two arrows are parallel or not. Okay, so parallel. So let's just say I have a arrow right here. Let's call this A. And this A, when I multiply it with a positive number, let's just say 3. I multiply by 3, positive 3. Okay. So this arrow will elongate 3 times, right? And how do I represent this elongated arrow? We should represent 3 times your A. Okay, it's like your algebra, right? So 3 times A is 3A. So we can see that when I multiply by a positive number, it only changes the magnitude. So the direction still remains the same. It's still pointing in the northeast, right? Northeast. Okay. Then of course, positive number we can also multiply by negative number. Alright, so let's just say I have the same A, arrow A, and I multiply by let's just say negative 3. Okay, so now not just that the arrow now become longer, it must also change direction. Alright, so how do I represent this elongated arrow? I must represent it in terms of negative 3A and put an arrow. Okay, and of course when for the A, right, for the 3, this is to change the magnitude. And for the negative, it is actually to change the direction. So initially it's pointing in the northeast, now it's pointing to the southwest. Yeah, okay, so for the negative, something like a negative vector. Just that negative vector, let's go back. Okay, so for negative vector, it's just multiply by negative 1. So negative, you change the direction, but you multiply by 1, right? Anything multiplied by 1 is still the same length. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, so of course, when we multiply something, the two arrows will still be parallel. So how do we determine whether two arrows are parallel if you are not given any diagram? Very simple. As long as they are scalar multiple of each other. So let's just say we have A and we have 5B. Sorry, not 5B, 5A. Okay, when I divide the blue arrow and the red arrow, right, I will get a scalar multiple, means that it's any number. So 5A divide by A, I will get a scalar multiple. So scalar multiple means any number, even fraction also can, decimal also can, just that without alphabet. This will mean that the two arrows will be parallel. Okay, of course, if sometimes you might get a negative number. In this case, I have negative 3A. I divide by A. Okay, so when I divide, I will get negative 3, right? Negative 3. This is what we call anti-parallel. Okay, anti. But nevertheless, anti-parallel is also a type of parallel. So as long as you get any number, even negative number fraction, they are parallel vector.